Talk and Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM, The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.
All right, Talk and Power podcast episode 106, and we're all back in the studio. You know, I worked out it was November the last time the three of us were here. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I'm trying to recover from the volume.
Nick's so excited his glasses are fogging up.
I am. Look how fogged up they are.
I know, I've missed a couple of episodes because I was preempting getting banned for a couple of episodes for comments regarding the election that I haven't made yet. See, that was like I was travelling back in time.
Oh, there. Wow. Are we going there tonight? Because, anyway, I think I'll be getting a ban as well on that one.
You can do if you want. Go for it.
We've got politics on the agenda here.
We have, actually. Yeah, politics
on
the
yeah.
agenda. But anyway, what do you guys? What's been happening? Tell us a bit about what's been happening in the world of Todd and Simon.
You go first.
Why am I going first? Well, it says in my notes I'm only going to talk about what I want to talk about because we're going to talk about that later. But anyway,
yeah, we'll talk about Targa Albany shortly, and I'll talk about Westernationals. Simon and I'll give a rundown on Westernationals. But look, we got Clint to come on soon as well. So just give us a bit of a rundown if you want.
Just normal work for me,
yeah.
I guess you'd say. Busy and getting busier, and I bet your son's going to say the same thing.
I have been very busy. I nearly completed an order for 10 Turbo 400 transmissions. That took a while.
Wow.
But the main thing, since I spoke to you guys last, is I drove the XY home.
Yes. Yes. We may have reported that.
We did.
Oh, did
mention
you?
it.
Yeah, we reported that. But
there you go.
Yeah, we were pretty excited by that news.
So there's some other stuff that I don't know. I might talk about it a bit later on in the episode.
Yep.
But, just busy with that, busy with the lead up to the Westernationals, busy with life.
No, it's good. That's good. It's good to hear. Anyway, look, we'll cross over. We've got Clint on the line, so we'll have a brief chat with him. Clint is the proprietor, or he runs the Southwest Indoor Motor Show, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be heading down there in 2 weeks' time for that. That's on the 19th, 20th and 21st of March.
Yep.
I believe coincides with Targa Southwest.
Yes, it does.
Jeez, I wish all these guys would get together and just start working out. Like, it's not clashing dates, but anyway, it is what it is, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, the weekend just gone, the long weekend. We worked out there was 7 different events on.
Well, they're not far away from each other, are they?
No.
So if you crash out of Targa, you can go and check out the car show.
That's it. That's
Maybe even
exactly
empty your car there.
Anyway, we'll take a short break here, and we're going to catch up with Clint right after this. All right, welcome back to the Talk and Power podcast. We've got a special guest with us here right now. We've got Clinton Wall. Clinton's on the line. Clint, thanks for joining us.
Oh, great, Nick, for having me on. I feel very pleasured and grateful to have a chat.
Hey, look, I must thank you first for you come up to us at our 100th episode to have a chat about what you're doing, and let's have a quick discussion about it now. It's the Southwest Indoor Motor Show happening on the 19th to the 21st of March 2021. Down in the lovely Bustleton at the Georgiana Malloy Anglican School. So tell us a little bit about it. I've watched your event from afar, but this year I'm heading down there. I must be honest, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, pretty much what we try to aim for every year is maybe not the biggest event, but quality of vehicles and building friendship up. And over the last 5 years, we've been able to get permits for guys who've loaned cars and to cruise the streets. No rules or anything. They just got to behave themselves. Mm-hmm. But we also get quite a lot of good quality cars turning up. And we have, people think it's just an indoor show, but there's outdoor shows where you just your street-driven vehicles. And this year we've got about 7 hours of show time over the couple of days, but we've got about 8 hours of actually cruising around the southwest. So it's more than just an indoor show there, Nick.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've been watching your posts, and this is a thing that I found interesting. And young Todd went to it last year, and that's one of the things he noticed that the cars sort of came and went, and he found that quite good actually. So tell us about the cruising. There's cruising on the Friday night, correct me if I'm wrong, on the Saturday, and any cruises on the Sunday?
Yeah, okay. Well, this year we've changed it up a bit. 2 years ago we had a meet and greet in the streets of Busselton. But this year we've decided to take it out of Busselton and to welcome everyone down to the southwest and get the hype around the area. We're doing approximately about a 60-kilometre cruise down to Dunsborough, where we'll cruise all through the main streets of Busselton and head down to Dunsborough. Some people might have a coldie down there or have dinner with their wife, etc. And then we'll come back on Friday night. The people that are lucky enough to be able to put their vehicles indoors, they'll set their cars in display. And the rest of us will just have a bit of company while we're there, just have a chat, or they'll just go off and go to their motels, etc. Now, Saturday, once the show's done at 1 p.m, we're going to head off and do our Cape to Cape cruise, which is about a 250-kilometre round cruise. So we leave from Busselton and go all the way down to Augusta, and then via Kays Road back into Dunsborough, which is it's a beautiful drive. You're going through all the trees and just the scenery, and the roads are really well behaved, real mannered down there. They're very good condition of roads.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good one. It's a 250-kilometre round trip roughly, and everyone loves that. That used to be our Australia Day event we used to put on. So I've just combined that in with this event this year to make it a bit different. And then Sunday morning, for the people that are nice early risers, we're going to go for a cruise down to Margaret River and just have a coffee, etc., before coming back for the show. So there's probably about 350 kilometres of cruising just with our three main planned cruises. And then the guys that are burnout cars, they come and go all day, both on Saturday and Sunday. And usually what those boys do, they'll take people around for a cruise, but they'll make sure they put some money into the charity, which is Beyond Blue this year. And Beyond Blue, you know, so many people are affected by suicide or depression, especially in the males, but the women, it's there as well. So it's a real problem, you know, depression and suicide in Australia.
Yep.
And I know it's not about how much money we can raise, it's about having those people that can talk to people, and that's where the money goes. If there's no coin in for those people to be there to talk to all these people and to seek help for them, there's nothing for anyone. And you know, I've been affected myself, and my family have with suicide in our family, and I just think it's time we all get out and start talking to each other. And that's why I picked Beyond Blue this year, just to let's get aware of it, the disease, and talk to our friends.
Yeah, certainly, and it's a great cause, and hats off to you for organising such an event where that all, you know, the funding, the money goes to Beyond Blue. Clint, I want to talk about the prizes, what you've got on offer for 4 lucky contestants. I know I listened through the awards, but just talk us through. We've got up for grabs here a spot at Red Centre Nats. You're going to fly and transport someone's vehicle there, and also to the Coolangatta Cooley Rocks as well. So tell us a bit about just those two, and then maybe the Summer Nats prize as well, and Motorex too.
Okay, well, what it is, Nick, is I'm all about giving. I love this sport. I had open heart surgery as an infant. They stopped counting at 14 holes in my heart as a child, and my parents lost me a few times on the table. So I've taken up motorsport as my passion and my sport. Because I wasn't able to play football. I wasn't allowed to play any of those contact sports. So my events I put on because of my passion, and it's not always about the money for me. I've always given to a charity.
Yep.
I think we've raised approximately about $35,000 for Gimme 5 for Kids since we've been put on the Southwest Indoor Motor Show. And now I'm in the transport business with first-class automotive transport. I thought, let's get some of these guys that may not be able to get a chance to do it because of funding, an opportunity to get their car up the Red Centre Nats, which is an amazing event. And I'll be going anyway. And I thought, you know what? I might put a few little events like this up for auction. So for anyone that's got like a real tough car, I'm going to be hand selecting 10 cars over the weekend. But instead of having the cars actually judged, how it's going to be is it's going to be a guessing comp, how many jelly beans are in the container. So all those 10 people are in a chance to win. So there's no, he knew somebody. That's the only reason he's won it. So everyone's going to have a chance. And then the 50s and 60s are a hot rod. I'm going to take them up to the Cooley Rocks. I've got family up there, and that's just another amazing event. And that goes for about a week. And, you know, if you've got a 50s or 60s car or a hot rod, that's an event you must go to.
Yeah.
You know, it's an awesome, awesome event. And then for just the street cars, any of the guys come in with street cars, I'll be sending 2 of them over to Summer Nats. I won't be taking their car, but I'll take them over to Summer Nats. I'll get them some accommodation and sort them out and introduce them to a few people that I know in the sport over there, and I'll hang out with them and we'll just have a good time and so forth. And then the person that's got the best show vehicle that has maybe been already to Motor X, I'm going to take them to Melbourne and do the same. Won't be with their car, but I'll take them over to Melbourne. So there's probably about 20k worth of prizes or more, which you don't usually get in events. So I'm all about just giving back. And this is the way I feel I can do my part to the sport and just giving back. So.
It's an incredible suite of prizes. When I went through the prize, I said, I couldn't believe it. This is really amazing, and I urge everyone to get on board with this. And people with some really nice cars out there, it's the only stipulation is they have to enter the car for the 3 days, which is no big deal. I don't think that's a huge ask. But they have their cars entered for the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st, which is, as I said, no big deal. But I think that is an absolutely amazing and really some great prizes on offer there for some lucky entrant.
Oh, for sure, Nick. And like the beauty about it is, I don't keep everyone there. If they want to take off down the road and get some dinner, or they want to go and have a coldie, they're welcome to go out. Obviously, the car's inside the pavilion. It's a little bit harder just to let them come and go whenever they want. But, we'll pull their cars out once the public's gone and let them come out and have a cruise and do what they want to do with their wives or their friends with their car. Now, it's only $10 also to enter. Yeah. So that's $10 per person in that vehicle, but that's for the 3 days. Now, also, we've got Bayview Geograph Resort here in Busselton. They're looking after people that are entrants. So $100 or something like that per night, staying more than one night. So realistically, a pretty cheap weekend, and at the end of it, people will get friendships out of this. It's just that type of event. It's a nice chilled out atmosphere. There's no real pressure there, and we're not having 50,000 people come through. So the guys don't have to stress about the cars being on display. We may only get like 1,000 people through the door per day, and it's just a nice chilled out atmosphere. And I've made so many good friends out of doing this event over my time, and a lot of people that I know go, you know what, we come down to so we can meet up with such and such again.
Yeah, definitely.
It just brings memories for them, So it's about the people. It's all about us all getting together, enjoying our company, and trying to raise a bit of a coin and awareness for Beyond Blue. So, yeah.
The other important thing to note is it's probably in the heartland of probably the most prettiest part of Western Australia, really. I mean, there's probably a lot of other people in Western Australia that would disagree, but I mean, there's no argument that the Brusselton, Margaret River, Dunsborough, Augusta, that region there is probably one of the most picturesque parts of Western Australia. And you can do a vineyard tour as well. There'll be a vineyard tour running as well that people can do if they wish to head off at some stage. So I think what you're doing is amazing, and it's in the heartland of really amazing Western Australia.
Yeah, you're right there, Nick. It's Busselton in this area. It is so nice, and the reason I've done the bus tours was just to get the girls involved more, make it more not just a guy's sport. And there's a lot of women out there that are right into the sport now, and probably upset some of us boys. They're doing a better job.
Yeah.
But the more you can sort of make it more of a family or a wife and husband sort of type event, I think that's a bonus for people to jump on board. So just doing the winery tour, again, it's about friendships that get built. Some of these people don't know them, but by the time they do a winery tour on the Saturday or even on the Sunday, they've got contacts for the rest of their life. And
that's right.
That's really great. That's important to me, that people have that opportunity to meet new people that love the same things that we all love, and reunite once a year and come down and really soak it all in.
Yeah.
We'll all have a couple of drinks on Saturday evening as well, and we just all have a really good time together, and that's the beauty of it. It's about a bunch of cars who are just really getting on together and just enjoying quality time.
Yeah, most certainly. Now, Clint, a couple more questions. One thing that I was curious about. You had permits available for the blown cars. Is it too late to get any more permits, or is there still some available?
Well, look, they're still available to get, but obviously, the longer these guys leave it, the less likely they're going to get one.
Yep.
So they can still contact me. They've got to send me some images of their car so I know what it is, because it's not about just getting any old bunky car out in the road that's not regos. It's got to have some street appeal to it.
Yeah.
It can't have just panels hanging off it and etc. It's got to look presentable. The Busselton police here are right behind the sport. Over the past years, we've never had one real issue at all being out in the road. Just a funny story, we actually had 2 years ago, we had Brendan Mitchell with his grudge, the Camaro. I don't know if you know the car, but
Yep.
A bright orange Camaro. He actually took out the mayor from Busselton for a cruise, and he actually got followed into the school by the police. But what we found out was the police were actually from out of town.
Oh.
And once we started talking to them, they didn't even say goodbye to us. They just turned around and got in their car, because the local police are right behind the sport. They're right behind the guys having the opportunity to do it. So, obviously they say, look, if they're playing up, they're going to get pulled over. But if they're keeping it neat on the street, a little bit of a rev here or there, they're not too concerned.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the guys of the cars to really be good and show what the sport's about. There's places that they can go and let their hair down, but this event's not for that. So
Yeah.
just the privilege of being able to drive it around. Go to McDonald's or go through the drive-through. Again, 2 years ago, I wasn't aware, but there was about 5 or 6 cars all decided to do a Bunnings run through the drive-through at Bunnings.
Yeah.
All the trading, collect all their timber. They loved it. The Bunnings people loved it. So I don't know if that will happen again this year, but they didn't go to McDonald's, they went to Bunnings.
Yeah, I think I saw a photo of that actually. That was a good one. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, we've got probably about 6 or 7 cars so far that they're coming along.
Mm-hmm.
So there should be a few tough cars out in the street.
Yeah, no, it's sounding very good, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you on the Saturday the 20th. I'll be down there. Now, tell us sponsors you need to thank. I know First Class Automotive Transport's one of them. Anyone else?
Well, not really. Got Triple M. They're doing some radio for a few weeks for me. They've put a bit of radio airtime on for us, and also Trade Hire down here in Busselton. Trade Hire one of the first businesses that are always there for any sports or any events down here in Busselton. They're always putting their hand up. So without trade hire being able to supply some temp fencing, etc., things would be a bit tight for us.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Bay Signs also, they help out with a little bit of print work for me. But other than that, it's pretty much myself at Hold On Promotions and First Parts Automotive Transport this year. Just with COVID-19, a lot of businesses were real sceptical about it and wanting to support it, but not until a week prior when they knew that things were going to happen. And several people sort of said, why do it? You should just cancel it. And I didn't want to cancel it. I wanted to do this event. So, I have had to downscale a little bit because usually I am very generous, and I've downscaled a little bit, but I'm in the industry. I'll outlay a bit of coin out of my own pocket and put this on, and hopefully I'll recover that a bit later with my transport. So it's all, like I said, it's all about trying to get Beyond Blue out there with the car community, that we all talk to each other about it. We all know there's quite a lot of car people that have committed suicide over probably the last 5 years especially.
Yep.
And, we just need to talk to our friends, our family, and, if we're not comfortable talking to our friends and family, we've always got the support lines to call.
That's right.
And so, and that's what it's about, Nick. It's more about getting the word out there. It's not about how much money is getting made. If we can make $1,000 for the charity, that's wonderful. But, if we can save someone, that's even better. So I just urge everyone, especially the guys from Perth, come down. It's only a couple of hours down the road. All the roads down here are beautiful condition roads.
Yes.
They're not full of potholes or anything like that. They're all very good roadways. And like I said, local police are right behind us down here. They enjoy it. The community enjoys it. So it's up to all our car enthusiast listeners out there now, really, to get in the car. If they can't make 3 days, just come down for a day.
Yeah.
But it's $10 to get in. So if they've got a car, like a good car, $10. What's $10 per person in that car?
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
Nothing. So, I'm looking forward to it.
No, it sounds good, Clint, and we're really looking forward to getting down there, and people can find information at your Facebook page, Hold On Promotions, and also your website as well. You want to give that a plug?
Yeah, that's this ClintonWarOnline.wixsite/swims2021.
Yep.
So for that one there, but a lot of it will be on my Facebook at Hold On Promotions.
Okay.
So, looking forward to it, Rick. We've got quite a few new cars turning up this year as well, which is always nice to have some new cars. We've got a new car from down Albany that's coming. First event the car's going to be at, which is a fairly high-level vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking forward to seeing some of these newer cars coming in. So, I'm starting to look forward to it, starting to G myself up a bit, and I've just come back from over east, but this is my last trip for a few weeks now, so I can concentrate on the show. And, just looking forward to it.
Yeah, okay. All right. No, it sounds good, and I'm looking forward to it as well. All right, Clint, we'll let you get back to it. I really appreciate your time, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. That's the 19th to the 21st of March at Georgiana Malloy Anglican School in Busselton. It's on Bustle Highway from memory. It's on the you can't miss it.
You can't miss it. As soon as you come into the dual carriageway, so just on the left-hand side, there'll be some signs out there, and you won't miss the school.
Looks like a beautiful school too, I must say.
And one thing I should say, Nick, the school there, Georgiana Malloy Anglican School, I've given them the naming partner of this event this year, and there's been no money exchanged for us. They've always just been there for me, and nothing's been hard for them.
Yep.
So, we've had one or two little nickel problems over the last few years, and we've just sat down and just talked about it and resolved it. And, they just put their hand up every time. Yep, when can we do it again? When can we do it?
Yeah.
And that means a lot to me. So that means more than getting money off someone.
That's right.
So, the school's amazing. It's a great school. So, the premises there, fully gated. There's also, we've got 24-hour security guards on hand as well, so everyone's cars are safe overnight there as well, so, and trailers, etc. So, but just a wonderful school, and without people like that in the community, you can't do these events. So
that's right.
Thank you, Georgiana Malloy Anglican School.
No, definitely. All right, Clint, we'll let you go. We'll let you get back to transporting, and we'll talk to you in the flesh in a couple of weeks' time.
Wonderful, Nick. Thanks very much, and looking forward to having you guys down here.
All right, take care. Thanks.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
See ya. All right, it was great to have Clint on for that. It was really appreciated his time. Looking forward to heading down there to the Georgiana Malloy Anglican School in Bustleton. I went past there actually during my summer break. And
is that a person's name?
I believe so. I did a bit of research, but I couldn't quite remember who it was named after.
Georgiana
Malloy. Yeah. Maybe Mrs.
Yeah. the late show.
Anyway,
I wouldn't bet on that.
No. But anyway, look, it was great to catch up with Clint. Really appreciate his time on the podcast.
And I'll just add, for those going down there, little tip for you, it's not actually in Bustleton, it's before you go into Bustleton.
Yeah, it's out on the highway, on Bustle Highway. You can't miss it, but it's huge.
You can't,
Beautiful
but just
school.
a little tip for players. Don't
go into Bustleton.
Yeah, don't head into Bustleton and try and get yourself a pie or something. You've already missed all the action at the hot rod show.
No, but do that at some point. Get a pie and a beer or two. Maybe even... But don't drive afterwards.
Yeah, don't drive.
Anyway, Westernationals. Now, I went down to the Westernationals on the long weekend, and I haven't been to the Westernationals for 2 years now because I've been committed to Race Wars.
Yep.
But I got back to the Westernationals, and I realised how much I missed the Westernationals.
Wasn't it great to see so many interstate competitors?
It was awesome.
Did it not bring back memories of the heyday?
Yeah, it did. It certainly did. And in a travel has been difficult. Let's just say that over the past year, and for that many South Australians to head on over here, I thought it was absolutely awesome. But the event itself really went very well, and I really had a great time.
And looking at the results, most of the races in the finals were very, very close races. So
they were very, very close. And I mean, we can talk through the results, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to talk about just the feel of the event itself. Good crowd turned up at by 5:30 the crowd was in. I like to go early on the Sunday for Westernationals. I've always gone at about 2:30, 3 o'clock. I was there by that time, and even then it was a reasonable sized crowd, and just laid out really well. The pit area wasn't too dissimilar to other events, but they did a magnificent job. Not many oil downs. I mean, Jay Upton's bike was probably the longest break in the events. His bike broke on the track, but they couldn't move it, so they had to get the tilt tray out to get that out of the way. But apart from that, it was a really great... Not taking anything away from Jay Upton, I think he's a great guy, but yeah, that slowed the proceedings down a little bit. But apart from that, it was a really magnificent
Was that in
event.
the final?
That was in the final, yeah. So I'm not sure what went wrong with his bike. I'm sure he will... I'm not sure if anyone knows, but yeah, it was locked up well and truly and unable to be moved. So yeah, no, it was just a great event, and I know some of your customers had a good
oh yeah,
evening.
we as far as Allfast went, we had a fantastic event. So Outlaw Radial top qualifier and won the events. One of our transits and converters, Top Sportsman, top qualifier. And I'll tell you a story about Top Sportsman. Chris Rowe, he came to me at the beginning of the season. He purchased a new engine for the car. He's had a very successful career in Top Sportsman. Obviously, when you get a car set up, particularly when you're in that kind of power level that he is, it takes a while to get it sorted. So he did that with his previous combo, got the car to go A to B and won the championship. And at the beginning of the season, he bought a new combo, and we did a converter and transmission package for him. And he said to me, Gons, I don't care if I go out first round every meeting this season. I just want to top qualify and win the Westernationals. That's all I want. That's what my goal is. And he did it, you know. And you know what? The guy is... I've been lucky enough to work with some really outstanding racers. Chris Wendt was another one who, you know, in Supercharged Outlaws, he just showed up and won from day dot, you know. Lee Fallon, you know, back in the day when it was a 10-second street car, same thing. He showed up in Super Sedan and he just won, you know. And, you know, Chris is another one of those guys. He's determined. And, you know, he said to me that another, you know, racer that had won a lot said to him, you'll know when you're doing well as a racer when people stop talking to you. So I heard that not a lot of people are talking to Chris nowadays. But it was fantastic to see him achieve his goal. This season's been a testing one for him because, you know, when you invest money into a power plant like that, to have to run the round robin format that they're currently running, it's not a viable outcome. If you go rounds, you want to know that at the end of the day there's going to be a paycheck, there's going to be points. To have to go rounds and not accumulate points or you know, get close to taking home any money doesn't make any sense. So unfortunately, if the current round robin system stays, I think not just Chris but a number of racers in Top Sportsman will be only running at the Andra format rounds like the Westernationals. And it isn't just in Top Sportsman. There's a lot of classes that the racers have said, you know, this is kind of a dumb format and they're not really for it. Kevin, on the other hand, in Outlaw Radio, he enjoys the way it works because he knows that he'll get 6 runs on the night. And you know, he's been very, very successful. I believe that he has that much of a points lead now that he doesn't even need to show up for the last 2 races.
I haven't looked at his points, but we can do that now if you want, just to be sure.
So in Super Sedan, we had both the winner and the runner-up, Ray Lecoq and Roger Morehouse, both all-fast customers. And in Supercharged Outlaws, the runner-up, also an all-fast customer. I've got a mental blank now. A young lady that actually made our wedding cake, believe it or not.
What was this in?
Supercharged Outlaws.
Oh, Jodie Mellett?
Yes.
Yeah, Jodie runner-up and Christy Steffens won that one. And
yes.
I don't think anyone could beat Christy.
No, unbelievable packages all night.
She was absolutely hosing the tree, Christine Steffens, and congratulations to her. But Jodie was a pretty formidable competitor for her, so
they've had a struggle this season as well. The auto shift in the car has given them grief. They've actually gone to a different system of shifting the vehicle now. And in Superstock, Errol Quartermain, runner-up to
Steve Norman.
That
BMW was unstoppable.
Yeah, once again, he's got a fair bit under the index. Steve knows how to play the game very, very well. But, you know, it was awesome to see Errol, you know, go through the field and make the finals.
Yeah, most certainly was. I'm just trying to find Outlaw Radio here. We also need to mention Marty Mirko went out in the second round with a very unusual red light for him. Very, very unusual, mate.
That guy, you know, he's unstoppable, and you can see the results there from, you know, this season. 3 wins from 6 rounds. So very, very strange for him to go out as early as he did. Still got a very commanding lead in the local points store. Not unstoppable, but you know, he would have to not show up for the next 2 races, and Kathy would have to win the next 2 races to to beat him, I think.
Well, with the health, as it stands right now, he can still get to Mildura, race there, and get back, and not have to quarantine as it stands right now.
Yep.
So we've lifted the when he returns, he won't have to quarantine. So hopefully he can get that done. There we go.
Yeah, 705 points.
Look at that.
George Kelly's the next at 460, and there's some rumours that George has actually sold his car and building a big tyre car.
Yeah, okay. All right. Look, I'm going to put my hand up here now as well and just add to all of this. I'm going to put my hand up. I'm actually putting my hand up for those watching the video. I was wrong about top sportsmen. I think we've had top sportsmen in the crosshairs for a few episodes, and we've probably suggested that perhaps those cars should go back to super sedan. I was probably wrong. I think 11 cars that entered in top sportsmen put on a really great show, and I think I may have been incorrect.
They did, Nick, but and a lot of my customers are going to hate me for saying this. To me, it doesn't discount what we've been saying. It actually reinforces it, because I feel that if you have one big top sportsman meeting for the season, and take it the next step, put up some big prize money, it'll put on a good show. But to have 10 and only have a few cars show up, it's just not going to cut the mustard. I told him, I said, I think the track prep's going to be there simply because there's going to be more traffic, and from all accounts, I mean, Kevin, running a 7.0, becoming the second car to run a 7.0 at an event prepped specifically for slicks rather than radials, and the third car in Western Australia to run a 7.0. He was pretty disappointed that he ran a 7.06 and he was third on the list.
Yes.
He made that pretty clear to me on the Wednesday when we caught up. But nonetheless, very happy with his personal achievements, and I would say that it's going to be another championship under the belt for Kev, which is great. And obviously John Zappia resetting the national record.
Yep. Yes, yeah, most certainly he definitely did, and good pickup from Stewie Bond, I must say. Almost went unnoticed, but Stewie Bond picked up. He goes, I think that's a record. I think he was
yeah. So that was the trifecta.
Yeah.
Top qualified, won the event, reset the national record. Did it on the last pass?
He did on the last pass,
which is, it takes me back to Alan Johnson tuning for Tony Schumacher. Just great. It was an awesome event. I unfortunately couldn't make it down there, but I watched as much of it as I could, and was kept up to date by customers.
Yeah. And
obviously, over the next few days, looked at all the event results quite closely.
Yeah.
The big story from the event is Ray Lecoq. Ray Lecoq's car has been suffering with a bad stumble coming off the trans brake, and he has had some guys that are pretty smart, like Jeff Chasty, trying to figure it out, and they found that if he leaves it off the foot brake, it's no dramas, even with the two-step on. It's only when he leaves off the trans brake that the car has a bit of a stumble, and no one's really sure whether it's electrical or fuel related. A lot of talk now about the trans brake solenoid backfeeding through the MSD system. But no one's really figured it out. So he made it to the finals of the Westernationals off the foot brake.
Yeah.
And Roger actually said to him later, "You probably deserve this Christmas tree more than I do."
It was a great final in Super Sedan. It really was.
And it was great to see him back in the nines, because he struggled with that car for quite some time. Trying to figure this out. So, I believe every pass that he ran was a 9-second pass. So he was pretty happy. He came and saw me during the week. And And
Daryl Treasure in modified as well. Well, that was
it was huge.
It was.
Definitely.
I mean, Casey McClure, I think she'll learn from that. She ran under her dial in but I just think she probably could hear Daryl coming.
Yeah.
But she kept her foot into it, and on the replay, she broke out by a considerable amount. So hopefully Casey has learnt from that, but being a McClure, maybe not. Maybe that's what they that's what they like to do, don't they? That's what they do out the back door. But she went round. She did really well, and so did Daryl as well. And to have those two in the final modified, it was a great race actually. The final modified.
You got to wonder whether that first round was a given for Daryl though.
For Daryl
against Corey.
Corey, yep.
You know, because Corey's pretty sharp. He's a pretty good racer. And I think he won the event last year. He was a defending.
He may have been actually. I can't remember now.
But nonetheless, look, all the finals I think were very close.
Yeah,
it was great to see. We didn't mention Super Street. We completely went past that.
So in Super, of course. How could we forget Bernie Ellaby? Of course. Now I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Bernie's son was racing at Albany. Ron, I'm pretty sure they're father and son in the WRX. Ron.
Actually, you know what? Chris is one of my customers too. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, that was Tango 3. Tango 3 against Hermatitis. So they changed the name of the car during the week.
It's Hepatitis B.
Hepatitis B got changed to Hermatitis B. I don't know if you saw that. Got changed during the week.
Was that a politically correct problem?
I don't know. I asked the question and no one's got back to me. So it's an interesting one. Yeah, how could we forget? But I'm pretty sure Bernie is Ron's father. Ron was racing at
that's
Albany.
A 6-cylinder, yeah?
Yes, yeah. It's a Hemi, but it's not a Holden.
It's a Hemi.
Yeah, it's a 265.
There you go. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it is pretty.
It's got to be some sort of a record there, isn't it?
It's a beautiful looking car too. So yeah, if someone knows why it changed.
So
names,
has it always had a Hemi in it?
I don't know. I'm not sure. That I don't know.
It's been racing for a long time. That car.
Yeah. But yeah, 265 Hemi.
Great result. Great result.
Yeah. Certainly was. Anyway, look, I mean, we'll take a short break here. That was the Westernationals, and we'll have more from Todd at Albany. Did the Albany Sprint right after this. All right, welcome back to the Talking Power podcast, episode 106. I'm here with Simon Gonzo Travellini and Todd Brinkworth, and I'm Nick DeChembry.
Now Todd, the Targa Albany.
Yes.
I heard it was a smashing success.
That's right. Jeez, can't help yourself, can you? So, no, it was a good weekend had by all. A new stage this year, Camp Quarrenup.
Camp Quarrenup.
Yes, which Ross and...
Sounds like the title of an American teen movie.
Well, it is actually an old quarantine camp from the early 1900s.
Yeah, so it used to be from the 1900s when it was a virus that I don't think it was a Spanish flu. It was something before that.
Yeah.
Black Plague?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And so when visitors came to Western Australia, they had to quarantine there. So quarantine
is McGowan looking at reopening it?
But yeah, lovely spot. And shout out to the caretaker of the property, who is actually probably going to start listening to us now. Was very welcoming to the whole Targa team. And yeah, great spot. Overlooks the, I think, Vancouver Bay, I think, down in Albany. And really technical little twisty stage would be the way to put it. On the Sunday I helped out and did official duties and dealing with competitors and trying to get them to park in a gravel car park, which was the only choice they had. There was many hilarity and much stern talking tos.
What was the problem with the gravel car park?
The fact that you come in on race tyres and don't come in slowly.
Oh.
Or every man thought that he could just park in the middle of a car park that was probably the size of this room.
You need to get some big ping pong.
Anyway,
paddles.
That was a great day.
Flight
it
control.
Was quite awesome seeing Alex Rullo bring the Lamborghini down.
Oh, yeah.
Watching that drive on gravel and having to try and make that do a 3-point turn on a gravel car park was an experience.
What sort of Lambo was it?
I I forget.
That was Giardo, wasn't it?
Giardo. Yeah.
But some GT3 car that...
Oh, it was a GT3 Gallardo. Really?
I had a good look over it. Lexan windows. It actually has a brace that comes from the roof onto the windscreen to stop the windscreen from folding in at high speed. An aluminium brace.
Most race cars, fast race cars. Sorry, Todd.
I know, but you don't get to see that stuff up close normally. And it was just parked in a car park.
Or if you design the windscreen properly, like I did on the BA, you don't have that problem.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Sunday was good. Lots of guys reporting that it's a new stage, very fast.
What was the weather like?
Sunday was pretty good.
Yeah.
Rained a bit in the morning, and then dried up for the runs in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then Monday again rained in the morning, and sort of rained in the afternoon.
And picturesque scenery.
Oh yeah, Albany.
Never misses, does it?
I could spend an hour by talking about Albany, besides the fact there was car racing on.
Yeah.
I was down there with David Turk, Pitsville Culture, and he always laughs because he goes, there we are kicking around in the Evo, but I'm like, let's go look at the blowholes, let's go look at the natural bridge, let's go look at the gap. And we're kind of getting funny looks as we're rocking up in this car that's carrying on the car park, and I'm running to go take photos of the scenery, and everyone's looking in the car park going, what are you guys doing? So it was quite amusing.
It's just a beautiful place, isn't it?
It is. I love it. I love Albany. It's a magnificent part of
So
the world.
where did they actually have the stages?
So there was one at this Camp Coronet, which you head down Frenchman's Bay Road towards Whale World.
Oh, did it used to be a military camp once?
Yes.
It may have been, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's essentially all the scenery is on the right hand side, if that makes sense, heading towards Whale World. People that know the area. Then when you're almost at Whale World, so to speak, well, not quite, but there's a left-hand turn which is Camp Coronet. Then the one after that is a different bit, but Camp Coronet, and actually I found out some friends of mine got married down there and all types of things. So actually you can stay down there. It's not a quarantine camp anymore, and it's actually worth the drive.
Yeah,
go have a look.
Oh, it's good.
So and then of course the Monday was the Middleton Beach hill climb.
Yeah.
So same as last year. So which was a good morning. I think Alex Rulo set a 1:24 or something ridiculous.
Was he did I see right? Was he more than 10 seconds quicker than his dad?
Yeah.
It was a significant gap between him and his dad.
And how big was the gap between him and... Yeah, but he happens to be a, racing car driver. How big was the gap between him and the next car? I'm assuming that he was the winner.
Yeah. I think it was 6 seconds.
On the hill climb?
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
And the next car, I must admit, I haven't looked at the results again quickly. I think it was either Steve Jones in the Evo 10.
Yep.
Which that thing was an absolute monster.
Well, the guys need to talk to Rigoli. So I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with what's been happening on the East Coast.
No, I haven't.
I know where you're going with this. I have.
The TRP team won the Speed Challenge, right? Which there was the twin turbocharged Lamborghini, along with a plethora of GTRs, R35s, and so on. And they also disseminated everyone at roll racing.
Yes.
McFry got into the finals with them, and it looks like McFry is standing still.
Yeah.
You have to watch the video on YouTube. It is just, it's like you can't, after you see that car beat so many other cars, including one of the Supras, big tyre Supra there, and then the Evo just disappears into the sunset. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. And I am led to believe that as far as the Speed Challenge goes, it's got, it only won the official results by a little bit, but on that particular run, Dom had to pedal it.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So I believe it's got a lot more left in the tank.
That's in 7. It's an Evo 7, yeah? Is that? Am I thinking the right car?
There's two.
Yeah.
There's Koval, and then there's another one.
Yeah.
I think one's a 5 and one's a 7, yeah?
Or 6. I thought it was 6 and an 8, but anyway.
Could be, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There are two different cars.
Yeah.
I think one's white and one's grey.
Yeah,
I've seen the white one.
Yeah.
That's the only one I've seen.
But yeah. Anyway, back to Albany. Yeah. So hill climb was good. I had a slight technical error with my ABS, so after one run went, nope, I want to make sure I make it home, so pulled out of the event. Actually met some really interesting people down there. Like, it's funny, shout out to Auto One. Actually meant to try and catch up with Ray at Auto One, who's another new listener. But
great guys.
Yeah,
great guys.
Auto One do a lot in Albany.
But Ray runs the store in Albany. Had his whole team helping out the guys at Targa, supplying tools, bits, bolts, whatever you needed, up until.
No, they're great guys.
They even bought not half their shop, but they bought part of their shop down to Middleton Beach Monday morning, and then Ray was contesting the Sunday and Monday events in his very nicely built Escort.
Yep.
And actually was peddling his Escort very well. Ray also runs a company down there called Flying Sparks Garage, from memory. So look them up. And we will have Ray on the show in the future. Just he was very busy and I was very busy and just couldn't meet in the middle, unfortunately. So, but yeah, good day. Another friend of mine with an electric car had a very minor off and moved some of the Armco at Albany.
Holy smoke!
What about that Datsun, the 260 ZX?
Yes.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So someone bent one of those
on the Sunday.
That's a tragedy.
On the Sunday, almost at the flying finish, just sort of got the corner wrong, stuck it into a bank, and it just did a gentle roll, but it was enough that it's creased the roof.
That's tragic.
Yeah, I actually had a bit of a chat with him, and he said, I'm happy I walked out away from it, but he goes, I don't know where I'm going to find another car.
No.
Apparently he has found another car already.
Really?
Yes.
A 260?
Yeah. So,
was it a 260? It was a
260 2+2.
It was a 2+2?
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, also Troy Wilson, on his first run on the Sunday, had I didn't see it, but apparently it was a spectacular moment. And now,
this is in his Evo?
Yeah, now needs a whole...
He's got an Evo now.
Yeah, it needs an entire front end for the car.
It's about time you got a decent race car.
But, no, I said shout out to my...
Walkinshaw is just not going to cut it, is it?
Yeah, shout out to the friend of mine on Monday who put his Tesla into an Armco, unfortunately, and then, as we learnt...
With their sparks?
No, but...
Sorry, I couldn't.
They were proceeding to fix it, and someone turned around and went... You know, there's 410 volt going through the front chassis, and like literally there was part of the wiring hanging out in front of his car. And then someone smart ass goes, "Don't worry, I went for Western Power."
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't there a Western Power ad with the?
And I was standing next to my poor friend that had the incident, and he's probably listening as well. And I'm sorry, Nige, but I did laugh. I did put my hand over my mouth and have a bit of a giggle, even though I was like, "Oh, you poor bastard!" I had a bit of a giggle.
So where do you take a Tesla to get it fixed in Perth?
There's now a Tesla dealership.
Is there?
Yeah, Aussie Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently they are actually very supportive of all the stuff that the Tesla guys do. Because added to that, Jurgen.
Yeah, I was going to say Jurgen
set
Lunsman, is it?
Yeah, set records and broke hearts, let's be honest, down at Targa on the weekend, or Albany. And that car is just strength to strength. And apparently Tesla themselves are sort of going, oh, okay, we hadn't planned on doing motorsport, but that's what they can do in motorsport. So they're doing a lot for the EV community.
Yeah.
As much as people bag them out, they had to bring a generator down. They... Hey, look.
I was going to ask about the extension lead, but you beat me to it.
They had a really good setup.
So did they have the generator like strapped on the boot? Or?
They had
it's on a trailer, isn't it?
No, they've actually behind it.
They've actually downsized.
Like drag challenge.
They've downsized from the trailer-sized generator to one that fits in the boot of a RAV4 now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So they tow the RAV4 with the Tesla?
No, the RAV4 is hybrid.
Oh, okay.
And they can quick charge the cars between runs, and I think 10 minutes of charge is enough for them to do like a couple of runs. But they basically can keep the batteries at 50 to 60% now. Whereas before they were trickling them down to 20, and apparently the Tesla will cut out and carry on.
But do you think the criticism that was levelled towards them, not from us, but there was criticism levelled towards them at Targa Southwest last year and at Targa West, they were using a Ford Territory towing a diesel gen set. That was a reasonable size.
Yeah.
I'm not having a lend. I'm not having a lend.
No, I
do
know.
you think there was criticism levelled at them?
Oh,
for
yeah,
that?
definitely. And
Do you think it was legitimate? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, I'm actually, and I know the guys really well.
Yeah, you do. So that's why we.
And also, they actually turn around and they tell me, they're like, "Hey, we took that criticism on board, and we're making it better and better."
I can't believe they're getting away like doing it now in such a that is an efficient manner. If they're using a RAV4 hybrid with something that fits in the back of that, that's hats off to them.
But so they're getting there. They know there's a long way to go, but hey, look,
I'm just not feeling it.
I'm just trying to give you the credit where credit's due, okay? You know what I mean? Like,
He didn't get it.
Anyway.
All right, Todd. It sounds like it was a great weekend.
Yeah.
On that bombshell.
On that note, we'll take a break and we'll be back with more Lights Out 12, and also not in the notes, but I had to add them at the last minute, the CTech World Doorslammer Nationals right after this. All right, welcome back to the Talk of Power podcast, episode 106. We just want to have a quick chat regarding supercars, the Bathurst opening round. What did you think of the Bathurst being the opening round? Not the Bathurst 1000, Bathurst 500?
Getting used to Cam Waters as the new Ford hero I'm struggling with that.
Yeah, it is a bit.
It's
a bit painful, to be honest.
Yeah, you sort of chilled a bit, don't you? You're like,
I might barrack for the Holdens at this race.
yeah, it's a bit chilly.
What did you think about the Shell team?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure yet if what we're seeing here is an absence of Scott or just an absence of Roger Penske. I'm not sure. Don't know.
Mate, they talked up
Anton.
I've never heard
Yeah.
any of that commentary team talk about a Ford driver in that manner. It was really I was like, oh, this should be good then.
Yeah. Well, he's credentialed, Anton, but he didn't
set the world on fire, that's for sure.
No, I didn't feel that. I wasn't feeling it.
So, in your opinion, was it the...
No.
In your opinion, was the pit stop and fuel load critical to the decider of the last race? Do you think, because that's what Scafie put it down to?
No, I don't think so. I think they just had a general lack of pace compared to Triple Eight. Sorry, not compared to Triple Eight, compared to SVG's car. Compared to him, no, most certainly. Yep.
Because I mean, they were there. They were there, but it was a matter of tenths.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, 500 lap rate.
500
kilometre lane.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many laps was it?
40. So it was a 40 lap race
40
each
lap
day.
race.
250 k's each day.
Yeah. So if you're a couple of tenths off 40 laps, you're gonna.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. And then the other thing, Channel 7, what did we think of their foray? I watched both. I watched Foxtel and 7. I thought it was pretty good.
I liked it.
You know, look, I think the coverage was fine, but it was the same rhetoric as before.
Yeah.
You know, definitive bias towards the Holden.
Yep.
You know, which is sad because they were going to win it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But what I am liking is the promotional work that Network 7 are doing with V8s now. It seems to be better.
So now the big question is, when's Andrew going to approach Super Cheap?
Yeah, they should be knocking on their door, shouldn't they?
Yeah, because they could probably get every class and the whole season for less than what it costed for one round of the V8s.
Yeah.
Plus us, we come with the package.
Yeah.
We're part of the deal.
So,
Hey, Lights Out 12. Let's have a quick chat about Lights Out 12. Let's have a listen. This is the final in Lights Out 12. This is an amazing race. Let's have a watch of this here, right here now.
Here we go. Radio versus the world, baby. Final round coming at us. Who's going to go in first? That's right. There we go. Marcus Bird is in. Here comes Jason Lee. Top in charge is going to be going 356 at 208 miles an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Lee wins his first RVW baby radio versus the world victory. 021 reaction time and goes 356 at 208. Marcus Bird was 057, goes 358 at 202. Margin of victory 56 thousandths of a second.
Now, I was wrong again in the lead up to this. I think Jason top qualified with a 5:02. So that's the new radio record.
Yes, it is.
And I said that the 40s were a formality. Well, it wasn't to be. We're still no 40s in radio versus the world. But
Nick, I got to ask you, right? We've seen these numbers plummet.
Yeah.
You know, we were around for the first three. We saw the 380s.
Yeah.
And on that note, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we now have 4 Australian cars running in Australia that have run 380s in Australia. So, you know, definitely things are heating up. Unfortunately, at least one of those competitors is building a big tyre car. So anyway, that's another story. The weight brakes have changed, haven't they?
They have, yeah.
So it's artificial now, isn't it? The numbers are coming from pulling weight out.
Yeah.
So basically, the promoters are a little bit embarrassed that there hasn't really been any progress in the numbers, so they're just pulling weight out of the car. We see this in local drag racing, particularly in the local radial scene. When they get down to 2,200 pounds, what are they going to do then?
I don't know. It's a good question. That car on the left, that's a ProCharger car, by the way.
Yes. But that new ProCharger, you could easily house homeless people inside it. It's that big.
Well, we're going to talk about that new ProCharger a little bit shortly as well in the CTech World Doorslammer Nationals as well. We'll leave that aside for now. But yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying, and even the nitrous car's got a helping hand. That other car was a nitrous car.
And you know what? The nitrous cars, they're going to be very close to not being able to pull any more weight out of them. They are on the cusp of that already because they were light to begin with.
Yep.
And then the parity issue begins.
Yep.
All the whinging and moaning in the pits, you know. I believe that it still is only a formality, but it's an artificial formality.
Yeah.
If we go back to the original rules, these cars are probably... And you know what? Ironically, the same thing's happening here in Australia. I know of at least one radial car on the East Coast that is a 380 car that is 400 pounds lighter than it was.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So they've dropped 400 pounds and they've managed to go 2/10 quicker. The maths doesn't add up.
So, look, I agree. I think that the 40s will be a formality, but they'll get to it. But I don't think we're going to see much performance increase. I don't know what the crowd numbers were like at this event. They appeared to be good, but I haven't actually got a crowd number figure.
These events, Nick, they don't draw big crowds, and anyone that thinks that they do is dreaming. They do sell a lot of views, pay-per-view views, and that's what funds them essentially.
Yep.
Because, you know, you've got a globe that has got, what have we got, 8 billion people?
Yeah.
Right? So to get enough people paying $20 a hit to cover the prize money, it's an achievable thing if you've already got the following that, you know, Donald Long has.
No, I agreed with what you're saying there. Just to finish off on Lights Out 12, I just wanted to know your thoughts. No time recorded race. Anthony Sellers decided to fly a flag during his burnouts that said, I don't
think you read that, mate.
Biden and for voting for him. It appeared to get the approval from most of the crowd. However, it didn't take long for someone to knock on the control tower, and Donald had to march down there and ask him to perhaps reconsider flying that flag. What do you think's to be gained from that?
Nick, you know, I deal with a lot of races in the US and a lot of parts manufacturers in the US, and I don't know any of them that voted for Biden. Don't know a single person, and I've not spoken to a single person that doesn't think this is in the US in the drag racing fraternity, a single person that doesn't think that the election wasn't rigged. So whether the rest of we've had this discussion before, the reality is in this country, less than 1% of the population even know drag racing exists.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what the statistics are in America, probably a larger percentage, but still relatively small community. It's one of those things. It's not the first time that we've seen politics get brought into the sport. I believe Stevie Fast ran Donald Trump on the side of his car. Is that correct?
Yep.
And listen, for our listeners, if you're listening to this on the 13th, do not forget to vote.
Do not forget to vote.
I've already voted.
Yeah, I voted already.
Done it. All right, CTech World Doorslammer Nationals, that was on the weekend as well. Khalid Al-Balushi, what can we say about him? He has set the world record for a Pro Mod car. And again, guess what? ProCharger. Good. ProCharger on board. He went, in the end, now on the final too, mind you, to win $50,000.
Now, this is the same guy with the same tuner that all the controversy happened around this time last year with the NHRA.
Yes. So a 5.613 at 254 mile an hour to beat last year's winner, Alex Laughlin. He went a 5.69 with an 8 at 250 mile an hour. That was in the final. So
couldn't beat the Street Outlaw guys, but
yeah.
Wins this event, no worries.
We've got something about that coming up, by the way.
Have we?
Yep.
Have we?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I didn't.
There you go.
It's not in the notes, it's on my head.
Oh, okay. Anyway, magnificent win for Khalid Al-Balushi.
And you know what? Great to see Brad Personette at the pointy end again after all of that rubbish.
Yep.
It was really sad, that whole deal. So you wanted to talk about the ProCharger.
No, I was just going to say, it's funny that we've had a ProCharger win on the same weekend. 1 weekend apart. But
so, on that note, there's been a bit of controversy in the US about the whole ProCharger deal. So there's a group of people, because if you run a roots blower in Pro Mod, so the NHRA Pro Mod deal is referred to as Pro Boost in the other categories. Mm-hmm. So Pro Boost essentially means you're running the NHRA legal setup. And there's been a bit of controversy because if you run a roots deal, there's a certain number of supercharger suppliers that their stuff works. You'll run the numbers with their stuff. They'll give you a hand with a tune-up. The turbo deal, it's a little bit different. You can develop the whole turbo deal without running the car, and then it's just a matter of getting it to go A to B down the track. So when the ProChargers were made legal, it raised a lot of eyebrows because there's another supercharger called a screw blower, manufactured by a company called PSI, that's still not legal. So I did a little bit of inquiry, and it turns out that it helps if you sponsor the bracket.
Oh, right. Okay.
So if you're listening, guys at PSI, maybe you should think about sponsoring the brackets.
Okay. Is Norm still at PSI?
He came back in a consultancy role.
Okay.
They are the chosen supercharger for top alcohol racing. Yeah. They also build a really excellent top fuel style supercharger. But with top fuel, companies like Gibson Miller, obviously you've got a little bit of help in the tuning side of it. So if you want to run a successful top fuel team, you need to have a guru in your back pocket, basically. Yep. And Alan Johnson with his engine program and so on and so forth. Those guys, it helps if you buy their parts, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So the company's still going. The biggest thing with a screw blower is once you buy it, you kind of aside from getting it re-SF every year or two, there's not a lot of maintenance involved. Whereas with the Roots, you basically have to rebuild that blower every meeting if you want to run at its maximum capacity. Some guys will bring 2 blowers to the track and they will swap blowers from qualifying to racing. So it's an interesting point that was made that ProCharger are sponsoring the NHRA and PSI aren't.
We'll leave that one there.
Yeah, we might leave that there.
Todd, you wanted to talk about Street Outlaws?
Yeah. I remember, actually, before I was even on the show, you guys used to watch it and talk about it a fair bit. And I must admit, I went off watching it for a while because...
because of us.
No, and I'm gonna use... I don't know if it's derogatory. Everything is derogatory now. They're wankers, right?
Yeah.
I sort of haven't watched it much lately because I've been busy at work, but to see Big Chief with his hat off, I'm not sure I want to watch it again.
Did you see that Thursday night? Was that weird?
I'm not really sure I want to watch it again.
Is that him? Like, it looked like someone else. I don't even know. Do I know this guy?
You can't get that image out of your mind.
Have you been watching it again now, have you?
I happened to catch it. I came home and it was on.
Anyway, the thing I want to talk about is
He's got a bit of an Uncle Fester look to him, doesn't he?
He does.
You just put the light bulb in. Maybe that's how he should be starting the race.
I was going to say something, but you know what? He'll probably fly to Australia and beat me up at one day if I say. But there is light bulbs involved. Let's put it that way. Ding. Yeah. Anyway, there's my 3-week ban coming up now. I started watching it again because they've gone back to the street this season, apparently.
Yeah, the no prep's still running, but they've gone back to the street, correct.
Never have I seen so much carnage in the first few episodes of the entire season.
Yeah, so you're watching the Discovery feed now. You're not watching the 9 Rush feed. 9 Rush is still probably 2 years behind.
Oh, well, I'm watching...
Discovery is up to date.
I'm actually watching Motor Trend.
Did you see the crash, like the Kamikaze?
Yeah, the Elko.
That is
how someone...
you know what? I saw that on the internet. I didn't see the crash, but I saw the result. And, to all you guys out there that are considering building these type of cars, even Kamikaze's got a Hemi.
Thank you. That's what I said to Luke as well in the episode. I said, was it my eyes or was that a Hemi?
It's a Hemi.
That car was touted as a home build, a bit of the
hodgepodge.
Yeah. But here it's got a Hemi in it.
Yeah, Helltech.
Yeah. I think it's had the Helltech. I've had the Helltech for a long time.
Yeah, and I'm about to say, and testament though, roll cages. Even though these apparently are street cars, the roll cage saved his life in that car.
It's interesting. The car actually never went over.
No, it just lost the entire front end and wiped out, I think, a telegraph pole and
about 6 parked cars by the looks of
things. Anyway, besides all that, I've actually been enjoying it. And the great thing is, again, you can fast forward through the BS. I've learnt now, you sort of, if they start talking or start doing something dumb, just throw me the freaking racing, all right? Like,
I wish you could do that with Married at First Sight.
Why?
Anyway, interesting. We chatted a lot about Street Outlaws with Luke on the last episode, so get back and have a listen to that. All right, what are you guys up to, and anything else you guys want to discuss before we wrap this one up?
Oh, mate. Drag Challenge.
Yes.
Probably by the time this goes to air, they may have announced the dates.
Yes. What are the dates? Or we can't announce them. You
don't
know them.
No, I don't know them.
Oh, you don't know them, or you're not allowed to say?
No, I don't know them.
You're not allowed to say. Well, tell me off air anyway.
All I can say is that it's usually in October.
Yep. Okay. Right.
And the All 4 Day, that has been announced, I believe.
Yeah, 31st. I think I saw
31st of October, I believe.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I'm not looking.
And
forward
is it
to
a
that.
show or a cruise this year?
It'll be a show this year. It'll be a show.
Excellent.
So looking forward to that.
Get your entries in.
Head to our website as well. We're trying to focus on more editorials, feature stories, and general stories. So there's a couple of stories up there. Go back and have a read, have a look at the photos. And, I don't know. I hope to see, if you're down to Bustleton, catch up with Clint at Hold On Promotions for the Southwest Indoor Motor Show. Make sure you come and say hello. I'll be down there as well. he's actually organising for me to go on a lap with one of the burnout cars on the cruise.
Oh, nice.
So I'm looking forward to that as well. So that'll be good. It'll be good fun.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap this one up, and we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time, and you'll be much the wiser from Targa Southwest. I'll be much the wiser from the Swims show.
Yes.
And you'll be much the wiser about it. You'll have a date for us on Drag Challenge as well. I need to work out some holidays. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Take care.
See you, Nick.
Talk and Power, your motorsport and motoring radio show. Now on 88.5 FM. The Valley Comes Alive. And podcasting across iTunes and talkandpower.com.au.